Welcome to our professional training series in divination, tarot, and astrology. The following training in tarot was developed for students that are going through the courses with the School of our Divine Infinite Being. We wanted to make our training available to the general public here on YouTube, while also encouraging those interested in a career as a divination professional in astrology and tarot to check out our programs at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. We have post-graduation program assistance that you will not find anywhere else. This includes live video consultation technology, calendar booking, social share tools, affiliate program development, e-commerce, and the opportunity to take clients from the marketing efforts of our talented in-house staff. Again, you will find all of this at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. Sponsored by astrologypro.com, the #1 platform for astrologers and tarot readers to operate their divination services. We hope you enjoy this training. Welcome everyone. Today we will be speaking about the Devil card in the tarot. For those of you that practice divination, and especially those working with shadow aspects, attachment, or material entanglements, this is a very important card. And of course, for those of you practicing tarot within our school, here at the School of our Divine Infinite Being, the Devil becomes a key archetype to understand. This archetype connects you to the realm of limitation and illusion, where bondage is often self-imposed and where awareness becomes the first step toward liberation. It reflects the parts of the self that feel controlled, addicted, or disconnected from higher truth. So I'm going to get into a description of what you see on the card, and then we'll go deeper into the symbolism through the following slides. This isn't done in any specific order, more of a top-down approach on the card itself, just to make it easier for you to follow the arrows. If you'll notice, the arrows on the left are associated with the descriptions on the right, so I'm just going to read them top-down. The Roman numeral 15 represents the tension between material bondage and spiritual freedom. Sphere of Saturn symbolizes the binding principle of form and limitation within Capricorn, the structural resistance that gives shape to desire and grounds spiritual energy into material expression. Phallus symbolizes raw, unchecked sexual energy and the force of primal desires. It represents the intense pull of physical and material pleasures, emphasizing the potential for indulgence, lust, and obsession to lead to bondage and entrapment. Ecstasy symbolizes the dual nature of intense pleasure and potential bondage. Krishna's peacock feather in the belt represents divine play and beauty within material existence, a reminder that spiritual radiance shines even through the world of desire and illusion, echoing the joyous current of Pan. The feminine shadow aspect embodies the repressed emotional and instinctual dimension of the psyche. Integration of this aspect leads to wholeness and mastery over unconscious drives. Spiral horns symbolize primal power, instinct, and the dual nature of human desires. God of Pan, representing wildness and the untamed aspects of life, the connection to earthly pleasures and desires, emphasizing the celebration of physical existence. Nymphs represent the seductive and ecstatic life force of nature, symbolizing how temptation and desire, when consciously embraced, can transform into creative and spiritual vitality. Man and woman represent self-imposed bondage to illusion and desire, yet the chains are loose, revealing that liberation comes through awareness and acceptance of one's instincts rather than denial. Wand of the Chief Adept can be viewed symbolically as the disciplined channeling of raw generative power, the conscious direction of passion through will, turning chaos into creation. Instinct psychology represents the struggle between primal urges and self-control, highlighting the need to confront unconscious desires to achieve mastery over one's darker impulses and foster personal growth. Capricorn astrology emphasizes themes of structure, ambition, and the interplay between materialism and spiritual growth. God of Pan, the guardian of ecstasy and temptation. Embodiment of natural instincts. The God of Pan symbolizes the primal instincts related to survival, reproduction, and sensory experiences. His presence under the Devil card emphasizes the importance of recognizing these instincts as essential components of human nature. This acknowledgement encourages individuals to embrace their authentic selves rather than repressing their natural desires. Celebration of sensuality Pan's association with music, dance, and revelry highlights the significance of celebrating sensuality and pleasure. Under the Devil card, this connection encourages individuals to engage fully in their physical experiences, such as enjoying delicious food, experiencing love, and appreciating beauty in nature. This celebration of life enhances personal fulfillment and joy. Wildness is a double-edged sword. The untamed nature of Pan signifies that wildness can be both liberating and chaotic. While it invites individuals to break free from societal constraints and experience life fully, it also serves as a cautionary reminder that unchecked desires can lead to reckless behavior and consequences. This duality calls for mindfulness in how one approaches indulgence, highlighting the need for self-control and balance. The peacock feathers on the belt. Divine radiance within desire, the hidden sanctity of sensual power. Symbol of sacred desire. The peacock feathers upon the belt signify the divine spark hidden within the realm of passion. Positioned near the seat of instinct, they express that the energies of desire, when consciously engaged, can serve as instruments of enlightenment rather than bondage. Beauty within the material. In their iridescent shimmer, the feathers reflect the truth that beauty and spirituality are not opposed to material life. Even within the devil's domain of form and instinct, the light of divinity reveals itself through the very richness of existence. Transformation of instinct into illumination. The feathers symbolize the refinement of base impulses into creative and spiritual force. Through awareness, the adept transmutes the raw energy of appetite into inspiration, turning sensual experience into a sacred act of realization. Play of spirit within matter. Echoing the peacock's association with divine play, the adornment embodies the joyful dance of spirit in the physical world. It suggests that liberation is not achieved through denial of pleasure, but through the recognition of divinity at work in every form and sensation. Union of the sensual and the spiritual. Ultimately, the peacock feathers on the belt illustrate the Crowleyan ideal that spirit and matter are two aspects of the same reality. When the seeker perceives this unity, even desire becomes an expression of divine will, transformed from bondage into beauty, from instinct into illumination. Sphere of Saturn, the weight of form, structure, limitation, and the alchemy of liberation. The Sphere of Saturn, within the Devil card, represents the force of structure and limitation, the dense gravity of material existence that both confines and defines the soul's journey. It is the crucible through which spiritual energy becomes embodied, reminding us that form itself is not the enemy, but the necessary resistance that gives consciousness shape and strength. Material constraint as catalyst. Saturn's energy manifests as boundaries, laws, and responsibilities that seem restrictive but ultimately serve as the framework for self-mastery. These constraints are the forge in which the will is tested, compelling individuals to transmute resistance into discipline and purpose. Illusion of entrapment. Under the devil's influence, Saturn's weight can appear as bondage, the belief that one's freedom is lost within material concerns or worldly desire. This illusion reflects the soul's identification with its own limitations, mistaking the cage of form for a prison rather than a vessel of transformation. Discipline and mastery. Saturn's sphere invites conscious engagement with these limitations through perseverance and awareness. True liberation arises not from escaping matter but from mastering it, turning obstacles into instruments of growth and endurance. Spiritual alchemy. When faced through awareness, Saturn's trials refine the soul's substance. The heavy lead of experience becomes spiritual gold through the steady application of will and understanding. Thus, the Sphere of Saturn, under the Devil, signifies not oppression but initiation, the realization that every form of bondage conceals the potential for awakening. Phallus, the balance of desire and enlightenment. Embodiment of primal energy. The phallus symbolizes raw, unchecked sexual energy, representing the instinctual drive that can compel individuals toward intense physical pleasures. This energy highlights the fundamental aspects of human desire, showcasing how it can be both a source of vitality and a pathway to excess. Seduction and temptation. The presence of the phallus under the Devil card emphasizes the seductive nature of physical desires, illustrating how lust can lead individuals to pursue superficial pleasures over meaningful connections. This allure can create a cycle of temptation, drawing individuals away from spiritual pursuits and deeper emotional intimacy. Risk of obsession. The phallus represents the potential for obsession with sexual gratification, where individuals may prioritize immediate desires over long-term fulfillment. This obsession can result in compulsive behaviors and unhealthy attachments, fostering a sense of dependency that detracts from personal autonomy and spiritual growth. Bondage and loss of freedom. Ultimately, the phallus serves as a warning about the risk of becoming enslaved by one's desires. When individuals allow their primal instincts to dominate their lives, they may experience a profound sense of bondage, feeling trapped in a cycle of indulgence that limits their freedom and spiritual evolution. Recognizing this dynamic is crucial for transforming raw sexual energy into a source of creative empowerment rather than a path to entrapment. Ecstasy, transcendence or trap, the paradox of pleasure. Intense sensory experience. Ecstasy symbolizes the overwhelming joy and satisfaction that come from deep sensory experiences, such as passionate love, vibrant artistic expression, or indulgent pleasures like fine food and drink. This card emphasizes how these moments of bliss can be transformative and uplifting. However, the intensity of ecstasy also poses a risk, as individuals may become captivated by these experiences to the detriment of their well-being, leading to neglect of responsibilities and self-care. Addiction and dependency. The Devil card warns that while ecstasy can provide profound pleasure, it can also lead to bondage through addiction or dependency. For instance, someone may become so entranced by the euphoric feelings associated with substance use or unhealthy relationships that they lose sight of their values and goals. This underscores the danger of letting the pursuit of pleasure dominate one's life, potentially resulting in destructive behaviors that limit personal freedom and growth. Mindful enjoyment and personal growth. Recognizing the dual nature of ecstasy encourages individuals to engage with their desires thoughtfully. By understanding the potential pitfalls of intense pleasure, people can practice moderation and self-reflection, allowing them to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved by them. This mindful approach empowers individuals to channel their ecstasy into creative pursuits or personal development, fostering a deeper connection to themselves and their spiritual path while avoiding the traps of excess and addiction. Spiral horns, the path of temptation, growth through challenge. Symbol of primal instincts. The spiral horns represent the primal instincts that drive human behavior, such as the desires for survival, procreation, and self-gratification. They serve as a reminder that these instinctual urges are natural and essential for life, but require conscious management to prevent them from dominating our actions. Ambivalence of desire. The spiral shape reflects the ambivalence of human desires, illustrating how they can lead to both constructive outcomes like artistic expression and passionate relationships, as well as destructive consequences such as addiction or obsessive behaviors. This duality emphasizes the need for awareness in distinguishing between healthy and unhealthy expressions of desire. Pathway to self-understanding. The spirals suggest a journey of self-discovery where individuals confront their deepest instincts and desires. Engaging with these elements can lead to profound self-understanding, revealing motivations that might otherwise remain hidden, thus encouraging personal growth and transformation. Engagement with the shadow self. The spiral horns symbolize the shadow self, representing the suppressed or darker aspects of our psyche. Acknowledging and integrating these elements allows individuals to confront fears, insecurities, and desires that they may have been conditioned to reject, promoting a more complete and authentic self. Temptation and moral choices. The horns highlight the seductive nature of temptation associated with primal desires. They represent choices individuals face regarding indulgence versus restraint. This signifies that while pursuing pleasure can be fulfilling, it is essential to exercise discernment to avoid being ensnared by temptation and losing control over one's life. Empowerment through balance. The spiral horns encourage individuals to find balance between their primal urges and rational thought. By recognizing and embracing their instinctual nature while also practicing self-discipline, individuals can channel their desires into constructive actions, fostering creativity, emotional depth, and a more fulfilling life experience. This integration leads to empowerment, allowing individuals to navigate their complexities with confidence and intention. God of Pan, the guardian of ecstasy and temptation. Exploration of the unconscious mind. Pan's wildness connects to the unconscious mind, where unacknowledged desires and fears lie. Engaging with these hidden aspects can lead to transformative self-discovery. Under the Devil card, this process encourages individuals to confront their shadow selves, bringing to light the instincts and emotions they may have suppressed, fostering healing and integration. Encouragement of playfulness. The playful nature of Pan invites individuals to reconnect with their inner child and embrace spontaneity. Under the Devil card, this aspect suggests that allowing oneself to experience joy and fun can serve as a powerful antidote to stress and monotony. Engaging in playful activities can foster creativity, innovation, and a renewed zest for life. Catalyst for authentic living. The God of Pan serves as a catalyst for living authentically by encouraging individuals to explore and express their desires without guilt. This acceptance of one's wild nature fosters empowerment, allowing individuals to pursue their passions, engage in creative endeavors, and build genuine connections with others. Ultimately, this transformation leads to a more vibrant and fulfilling existence, rooted in the celebration of physical and emotional realities. Wand of the Chief Adept, the command of will, channeling desire into spiritual authority. Mastery through conscious will. The Wand of the Chief Adept symbolizes the disciplined application of will, the power to direct passion and instinct toward creative and spiritual ends. In the context of the Devil, it represents the initiate's capacity to stand within the realm of desire without being enslaved by it, transforming temptation into strength. Transmutation of energy. This wand embodies the art of alchemy, converting raw, sensual energy into spiritual potency. The adept recognizes that desire itself is sacred power. When harnessed through awareness and self-discipline, it fuels evolution rather than bondage. Authority rooted in self-knowledge. The wand is a symbol of command not over others but over the self. True mastery arises from the integration of shadow and light, instinct and intellect. Through this integration, the adept channels inner forces with precision and purpose, becoming a conscious co-creator with the divine. Ethical responsibility of power. With spiritual authority comes the responsibility of right use. The wand warns against manipulation or domination through force of will. It teaches that true command lies not in control but in alignment with higher order, in using power as service to truth and illumination. Balance of the sensual and the spiritual. Ultimately, the Wand of the Chief Adept under the Devil card signifies equilibrium, the meeting point of passion and purity, will and surrender. It is the instrument of liberation for the adept who has learned that the same fire which tempts can also illumine when directed by conscious intent. Man and women. The mirror of desire, voluntary bondage, and the choice of liberation. Illusion of captivity. The man and woman beneath the devil represent the illusion of bondage, chains that appear confining yet could be easily removed. They mirror the human tendency to believe one is trapped by circumstance or desire, when in truth, the fetters are self-imposed and maintained through fear or comfort. Union through shadow. Their presence also signifies the polarity of masculine and feminine energies entwined within the material plane. This union, when unconscious, becomes ensnared in passion and dependency, yet when made conscious, it transforms into the sacred marriage of opposites, harmonizing instinct with awareness. Power of choice. The loose chains reflect the freedom always available to the soul. Crowley's Devil teaches that enslavement to pleasure, power, or emotion is not imposed by external force, but chosen through ignorance. Recognition of this truth begins the process of liberation. Temptation as initiation. The couple's condition serves as a symbolic initiation, facing desire not to suppress it but to see through it. The very forces that bind them also hold the potential for awakening when approached with consciousness and self-knowledge. Integration of dual nature. Ultimately, the man and woman signify the dance between spirit and matter. Their chains are symbols of ignorance, Their proximity to the devil is the mirror of self-awareness. Once they recognize that bondage and freedom are two expressions of the same energy, they reclaim mastery over their own will. The feminine shadow aspect, embracing the hidden power, transforming repression into conscious strength. Repressed desire and fear of exposure. The feminine shadow reflects the hidden, emotional, and instinctual parts of the psyche that are often suppressed due to fear of vulnerability or judgment. Within the devil, it symbolizes the parts of oneself that seek expression through desire, control, or emotional defense when authenticity feels unsafe. Seduction and power as masks. This aspect embodies how the feminine current, when disconnected from awareness, can manifest as manipulation, seduction, or dependency. These behaviors arise not from malice, but from a wounded need for recognition and love. The devil's energy exposes this imbalance, offering the opportunity to see power games for what they are, unconscious cries for wholeness. The shadow as a mirror of healing. Crowley's devil reveals that what is feared or denied holds transformative potential. The feminine shadow, when acknowledged rather than shamed, becomes a source of wisdom and creative vitality. The emotional depth once hidden in darkness becomes the wellspring of intuition, compassion, and authentic power. Integration through awareness. By facing the shadow, its envy, possessiveness, and longing, one reclaims the divine aspect of the feminine as receptive awareness. Through this confrontation, the repressed emotions lose their destructive form and are transmuted into empathy, strength, and grounded sensuality. The sacred dark within. Ultimately, the feminine shadow within the devil card is not evil, but the unillumined aspect of the soul yearning for acceptance. When embraced consciously, it transforms from manipulation into magnetism, from fear into creative power, from bondage into the freedom of self-knowledge. Nymphs, the seductive veil of nature, desire, temptation, and the dance of awakening. Embodiments of sensual temptation. The nymphs personify the alluring face of nature, beauty, charm, and sensuality that captivate the senses. Within the devil's domain, they represent the magnetic pull of earthly pleasure, the instinctive urge toward experience that can either enslave or enlighten, depending on the awareness with which it is embraced. Delight and danger of excess. Their charm mirrors the duality of desire, pleasure as both nourishment and potential ensnarement. When sought unconsciously, the pursuit of pleasure becomes a cycle of indulgence and dissatisfaction. When approached consciously, it becomes a ritual of appreciation for life's vitality. The illusion of fulfillment. The nymphs also symbolize the fleeting satisfaction that arises from attachment to form and sensation. Their beauty is a mirror, enchanting but transient, reminding the seeker that the outer experience of pleasure cannot substitute for the inner experience of wholeness. The call to conscious enjoyment. In the context of the devil, the nymphs invite awareness rather than abstinence. Crowley's philosophy celebrates joy in matter when united with mindfulness. Thus, the nymphs serve as teachers of discernment, asking whether one's pleasures expand awareness or deepen attachment. Transmutation of desire into devotion. Ultimately, the nymphs reveal that desire itself is not sin but sacred fire. When the senses are approached as gateways to divine experience rather than escape, temptation transforms into tantra, the conscious merging of spirit and flesh. Capricorn astrology. Capricorn's influence, the balance of ambition and materialism in the devil card. Rigid structures leading to restriction. Capricorn's emphasis on structure and discipline can sometimes manifest as rigidity, leading to feelings of confinement. The devil card highlights how an overly structured approach to life, whether through strict routines or relentless ambition, can trap individuals in a cycle of materialism, hindering their ability to embrace spontaneity or emotional freedom. Ambition as a double-edged sword. While Capricorn embodies ambition and the pursuit of success, the devil card urges individuals to critically evaluate the source of their drive. It challenges them to discern whether their ambition is fueled by genuine passion or external expectations, prompting a reassessment of goals to ensure they are not merely chasing status or wealth at the expense of personal fulfillment. Balancing material success with spiritual fulfillment. The interplay between materialism and spiritual growth is underscored by Capricorn's practical nature. The Devil card serves as a warning against prioritizing material gains over spiritual well-being, emphasizing that true success lies in balancing the two. Individuals are encouraged to seek meaningful achievements that enrich their spiritual lives, fostering a holistic sense of purpose and fulfillment, rather than being ensnared by materialistic pursuits alone. Instinct psychology, the power of instinct, unraveling psychological desires under the Devil card. The Devil card in Tarot symbolizes the struggle between primal urges and self-control, rooted in instinct psychology. It challenges individuals to confront their darker impulses, such as lust, greed, and addiction, and recognize how these desires influence their behavior. Awareness of instinctual drives. The Devil card serves as a powerful reminder to recognize instinctual drives such as lust, addiction, and aggression. By identifying these urges, individuals can gain insights into their behaviors, allowing them to understand how these instincts influence their choices and interactions in daily life. Tension between desire and restraint. The conflict represented by the Devil card highlights the ongoing battle between yielding to immediate desires and exercising restraint. This struggle encourages individuals to develop self-regulatory skills, such as mindfulness and emotional intelligence, enabling them to navigate situations where their primal instincts may tempt them to act impulsively. Transformative power of integration. Engaging with and integrating primal urges can lead to significant personal growth. By confronting these darker impulses instead of suppressing them, individuals can transform potential weaknesses into strengths. This process promotes self-acceptance and empowers individuals to channel their instincts creatively, enhancing their overall well-being and fostering deeper connections with others. What does the Devil mean in tarot divination reading? The Devil card signifies temptation, bondage, and materialism. It represents being trapped by one's desires, fears, or unhealthy habits. In a divination reading, the Devil encourages the seeker to recognize and confront their limitations, address addictive behaviors, and seek liberation from what binds them. This card highlights the importance of breaking free from negative influences and reclaiming personal power. Understanding the meaning of this card in a tarot throw. Up to this point, you have been learning about the intricate details and symbolic meanings associated with this particular card of the Greater Arcana. In the following section, we will delve into various categories and scenarios of interpretation that may present themselves in a reading for you or a client. First, let's review factors that may influence your decision and choice of interpretation. Intuitive read on yourself or the client. Personal connection. Your personal connection or the client's connection to the card can influence its meaning. Tune into your intuition to gauge how the card resonates on a deeper level. Emotional state. Consider the emotional state of yourself or the client, as this can affect how the card's message is perceived and interpreted. Spiritual sensitivity. Be aware of any spiritual sensitivities or inclinations that might shape the card's significance. Placement in a specific tarot layout. Position in the spread. The position of the card in the tarot layout significantly impacts its meaning. For instance, its presence in the past, present, or future positions can alter the interpretation. Role in the layout. Understand the role of the card in specific placements, such as the challenge position, the outcome position, or the advice position, each of which offers a unique perspective. Context of the spread. Different tarot spreads serve different purposes. For example, Celtic Cross, 3-card spread, relationship spread, and the card's role can vary accordingly. Relationship to other cards in the throw. Complementary cards. Look for cards that complement the one in question, enhancing its themes and messages. Contradictory cards. Identify any cards that might contradict it, suggesting a need for balance or highlighting areas of tension and conflict. Major Arcana influence. The presence of other Major Arcana cards can intensify the significance of the card, emphasizing major life themes and spiritual lessons. Suit influence. The suits of surrounding Minor Arcana cards, Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles, can provide context and detail to the card's message, such as emotional insights from cups or intellectual clarity from swords. Now that we have taken the journey through the symbolism of this card of the Divine Arcana Tarot, let's journey into several relevant points within a divination reading. As you have already noticed, there is much repetition in this training. For our students, this is very important. You will see now how much of the symbolism you have been learning about is repeated in the different categories of a tarot divination reading. The Devil in a divination reading. Astrological representation. Capricorn. The Devil card aligns with Capricorn, highlighting themes of ambition, materialism, discipline and control, but also their shadow side. Capricorn's drive for achievement and structure can turn into obsession, entrapment, or unhealthy attachments. Just as Capricorn climbs steadily toward success, the Devil card reflects the potential to become ensnared in limiting beliefs, habits, or behaviors. This card encourages awareness of how ambition, fear, or material attachments may restrict personal freedom and invites reflection on how to regain control with mindful discipline. Temptation and addiction. The Devil represents being lured into addictive behaviors, unhealthy patterns, or material indulgences. It warns of temporary pleasure that leads to long-term restriction and encourages examining the sources of these temptations. Bondage and restriction. This card symbolizes being trapped in limiting circumstances, whether a toxic relationship, oppressive belief system, or destructive habit. The Devil teaches that recognizing your chains is the first step toward liberation and personal empowerment. Shadow self and inner demons. The Devil reflects confronting your shadow self, the parts of you that you might fear or avoid. It urges you to acknowledge destructive behaviors, hidden desires, or insecurities, and to work through them with compassion rather than repression. Materialism and obsession. This card highlights an overemphasis on material success or control. It warns that unchecked ambition or obsession with status can become a source of personal bondage, creating imbalance and emotional disconnection. Power dynamics and control. The Devil card points to unhealthy dynamics involving power and control, whether in personal relationships, work environments, or your inner world. It teaches the importance of recognizing manipulative influences and regaining autonomy. Illusions and deception. The Devil symbolizes illusions, situations that appear satisfying but conceal their true nature. It warns of being deceived by superficial appearances, whether in relationships, ambitions, or personal desires. Breaking free and liberation. This card invites the awareness that freedom lies within your grasp. It encourages you to confront and challenge the forces, internal or external, that restrict you, reclaiming your power and breaking free from limiting attachments. Confronting fear and guilt. The Devil brings hidden fears and unresolved guilt to the surface. It asks you to face these emotions directly rather than avoid them, recognizing that confronting what you fear can lead to freedom and healing. Reclaiming authenticity. The Devil card invites reflection on where you might be living inauthentically or suppressing your true self. It encourages you to reclaim your authenticity, recognizing that true power lies in self-acceptance and personal integrity. 10 common card placement positions. Past influence. Upright. In the past position, the Devil card reflects a period of indulgence, unhealthy attachments, or restrictive behavior that shaped your current path. Perhaps past habits, toxic relationships, or material obsessions influenced where you are today. Reversed. Reversed, it suggests that you have previously struggled to break free from controlling influences or self-limiting patterns. Though you may have begun to free yourself, some residual effects might still linger in your current life, requiring further release. Present situation. Upright. In the present, the Devil card highlights that you may feel trapped by unhealthy habits, toxic dynamics, or attachments. You might be facing temptations or struggling with limiting beliefs that make you feel stuck, calling for self-awareness and empowerment. Reversed. Reversed, it suggests that you are beginning to recognize and break free from restrictions or negative influences in your life. Though the journey toward liberation is underway, you may still be wrestling with internal resistance or fear of change. Outcome or resolution. Upright. As an outcome, the Devil card suggests that without mindful intervention, Unhealthy attachments or limiting beliefs may persist. It warns of falling back into old patterns unless you consciously choose liberation and growth. Reversed. Reversed, the card indicates that you will successfully break free from toxic dynamics or restrictive behaviors. It suggests a positive resolution where personal empowerment and freedom become the foundation of your next chapter. Current influences. Upright. The devil as a current influence indicates that you are under the sway of temptation, fear, or limiting beliefs. Your environment or mindset may be reinforcing negative patterns, making it challenging to see a way out. Reversed. Reversed. It suggests that you are becoming more aware of these influences and taking steps to shift them. Though challenges may remain, you are beginning to reclaim your power and move toward greater freedom and clarity. Key theme or lesson. Upright. The key theme of the Devil card is recognizing and confronting your attachments, fears, or temptations. It teaches that personal freedom requires awareness, accountability, and the courage to release what no longer serves you. Reversed. Reversed. The card suggests that the lesson lies in embracing liberation and self-empowerment. It encourages you to release fear and old habits, trusting that the path to freedom is worth the discomfort of change. Exploring the enigma. Unveiling the wisdom of the Empress card in Tarot through the insights of occult visionaries.
Aleister Crowley. The Devil is the master of illusion, the card of materialism and bondage. It represents the darkest part of human nature, but also the transformative potential hidden within the shadows. The Book of Thoth, 1944. Arthur Edward Waite. The devil signifies the bondage of the material, the reverse of the divine. It is the false imagination, the specter of evil which must be transcended by inner enlightenment. The Pictorial Key to the Tarot, 1911. Rachel Pollack. The devil is not evil in the moral sense. Instead, it stands for the limitations we place on ourselves, the destructive forces of ignorance and fear. It shows us what happens when we let our lower instincts control us. 78 Degrees of Wisdom, 1980. Paul Foster Case. The devil is a symbol of misdirected creative energy. It represents ignorance, self-imposed limitations, and the result of identifying too closely with the physical world. The Tarot, A Key to the Wisdom of the Ages, 1947. Manly P. Hall. The devil card symbolizes man's enslavement to his lower self and the entrapment in physical desires. The true power of the devil lies in the mind's ability to deceive and distort reality. The Secret Teachings of All Ages, 1928. Liz Dean. The devil represents entrapment, feeling controlled by something outside of yourself. It warns of unhealthy attachments, whether to people, material possessions, or habits. The Ultimate Guide to Tarot, 2015. Gareth Knight. The devil symbolizes the destructive power of ignorance. He traps those who believe they are victims of external circumstances, yet he also holds the key to liberation if we recognize the illusion. The Magical World of the Tarot, 1991. Sally Nichols. In Jungian terms, the devil represents the shadow, the repressed parts of our psyche. It's a reminder that unless we confront our shadow, it will control us in harmful ways. Jung and Tarot, An Archetypal Journey, 1980. Mary K. Greer. The devil is about breaking the chains of ignorance. It reveals how we imprison ourselves with false beliefs, material obsessions, and unhealthy dependencies. Tarot for Yourself, 1984. Lon Milo Duquette. The devil represents Pan, the natural force of life. Though often feared, Pan is the raw, untamed power of creation. The card asks us to face our fears and understand the beauty in what is wild and primal. Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, 2003,